Good afternoon, friends. So we have completed our first chapter. Now let us go for the second one, that is interpolation. Okay. So what we are going to see in the interpolation and numerical differentiation. That is our second unit. Interpolation and numerical differentiation. Okay. So what is an interpolation? Finding the value from the given values. Suppose upon we are provided with many values, and we have to suppose one table is provided, and we have to find out the value which is in between of a given value. Suppose we have provided with the values say x equal to 1, 2, 3, and so on up to x equal to 5, the corresponding values of y. Okay, but if suppose x, y, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and corresponding values are provided, and if you are able to find out the value in between, that is, suppose you want to find out the value of 2.5, 3.5. Okay, suppose the value of y at a x equal to 2.5, suppose you want to find out the value of y at a 3.3, and so on. And if you are able to find this type of a if you are able to solve this type of example, that is, this is called a interpolation. Okay, the name itself suggests that interpolation, that means we have to find out the values which are from the given values, we have to find out the values which is in between the given values. Okay, interpolation. with, with the help of a polynomial, we are going to find out the answer of this. That means suppose if I want to find out the answer of y at 1.3. Okay, how you are going to find out? First you have to form a polynomial with the given data, that is polynomial, and then find out the intermediate value. Interpolation means what? With the help of a polynomial, we will find out the in between values from the given values, corresponding value of y from the given values of x. That is, if you want to find out 4.3, 4.6, then you have to first prepare a polynomial, then you can find out the in between values of y from the given values. Okay, so what is this? This is simply in finding the values from the given set of tabulated values. Assume that your function is known. That means if you know the function y is equal to f of x, okay. Suppose a function is given, that is y is equal to, suppose sin x is given, and corresponding values of x and y are provided. Interpolation is a process of computing intermediate values of the function from the given set of tabulated values. Intermediate values we have to find out. Okay, suppose p of x is a polynomial, then it is called a polynomial interpolation. That means if you are able to find out with the help of polynomial, then it is called a polynomial interpolation. Interpolation means what? Finding the intermediate value from the given set of tabulated values. Okay. So first method that you are going to see is Lagrange's interpolation. Okay. Suppose we are provided the interval, closed interval AB, and in this closed interval we are provided with some values, say x0, x1 up to so on xn. Okay. That is, all the values are in between A to B. How many values we are provided? N plus 1 points are given, x0, x1, x2 up to xn. From x1 to xn, these are n values plus this x0. So total n plus 1 values are provided. Okay, and the value of a function f of x is known at this point. That means we know about the corresponding value of y at a point x0, x1 up to so on xn. Okay, we have to find out a polynomial such that polynomial p of x is equals to a0 x plus a1 x square plus a2 x cube and plus so on an x raised to n. Okay, satisfying the point. Satisfying the point means we have to find out a polynomial such that p of xi is equals to f of xi. we don't know what is a polynomial f of x. Suppose if you don't know what is f of x, simply we are provided with f of xi. That means suppose you are given with say x0, x1 up to xn. Okay. And corresponding values of y0, y1 up to y. This is given. Suppose your function y is equal to suppose x square is z. If suppose it is x square, then you can find out the value directly. If suppose you don't know what is a function, if you don't know what is a function, how you are going to calculate the intermediate value? What is interpolation? Finding the intermediate value from the given set of tabulated values. And if you are going to find out this with the help of a polynomial, then it is called a polynomial interpolation. Okay. So if you don't know the function, then you have to find out with the help of a given function. Given values. If you have given values, then find out a new polynomial p of x which satisfy these given condition. On the condition p of xi should be equal to f of xi. That means whatever we are having a new polynomial p of x, that we are going to find out with the help of a given set of tabulated values. This must satisfy the condition of p of xi is equals to f of xi. Okay. So now let us evaluate, instead of finding this whole big polynomial, and we have to find out all those values of a naught, a1 up to so on an also, so that we can get the general polynomial. So instead of solving a very big polynomial of n plus 1 points, say a naught up to an, that means we have to find out all those ai constant. So we will find out we'll want to determine the polynomial p of x is equals to a naught plus a1x. We'll solve for only x equals to 1, x raised to 1, that is n equal to 1. The power of x is 1. Where a naught and a1 are the constant which we want to find out, which must satisfy the interpolation condition. That means a naught and a1 we have to find out in such a way that they must satisfy our condition. What are our condition? We are provided with these n plus 1 points and corresponding points of y. That is, we are provided with the corresponding values of y. Okay. So now let us find out what are points given to us a naught and x naught and x1. So let us find out what is. We are provided with values of f of x naught. No, we are f of x naught as well as f of x1, and we know that f of xi should be equal to p of xi. So hence now we can find out f of x naught is equal to p of x naught. Right now, just now we have written that f of xi should be equal to p of xi. That is a new polynomial p of x. Whatever we are going to find out, it must satisfy the condition of a function f. So it will be equal to a naught plus a1 x naught is equals to, what is this? This is nothing but p of x1 is equal to a naught plus a1 x1. Correct. So we were having the three equation. What is this equation? Equation 1. This is equation 2. This is our equation number 3. Okay. So now we have to eliminate a naught and a1 from equation 1, 2 and 3, so that we can find out the values of a naught and a1, a naught and a1. Okay. So for that, we will find out this with the help of a determinant method. I hope you remember writing the coefficients of a naught and a1. We can find out one determinant. Okay. Let me write down this determinant. So what is the first column? This is px, f of x naught and f of x1. This is our first column. And the second one, we will write down the coefficients of a naught and a1. Okay, what is the coefficient of a1 is x. Coefficient of a naught is 1. Coefficient of a1 is here x naught. Coefficient of a naught is 1. Here it is x1, here it is 1. Correct. Now we have to solve this determinant so that we can find out the values of a naught and a1. And if you are able to find out the values of a naught and a1, then you can generalize the concept for a nth degree polynomial. Here we are solving for a linear polynomial, that is a naught plus a1x. Okay. So what we have here, this is p of x, x1, f of x naught, 1, f of x1, x1, 1. Why we have have written this in terms of these because we want to find out the values of a0 and a1. Those who remember, we have used a Cramer's rule. Those who remember that we have solved the examples in the 10th standard. If you want to find out the values of a0, then corresponding you are writing the matrix P. Suppose you want to find out the value of x, then you are writing a determinant dx and divided by the determinant d. Then you can get the value of x. How to find out y? Determinant dy divided by a determinant d. Those who remember, in the very similar way here we have to find out the values of a0 and a1 instead of finding the values of x and y. So why we have used this? Why we have written these three equations? Because we want to find out values of a0 and a1 in such a way that they must satisfy the condition of uh, our given values, that is f of x naught and f of x1. If you are going to put f of x naught, values of x naught in your p of x and f of x, it must satisfy that equation. That's why we have written equation which is in terms of x naught and which is in terms of x1, and then we are going to solve this. Okay, so let me solve this. This is equal to p of x. Let me solve this determinant. This is x naught minus x1 minus x as it is. This is f of x naught minus f of x1 plus next is 1 as it is, x1 f of x naught minus f of x1 into x naught. So we have just solved the determinant. Okay, so now we will take the terms of f of x naught common so that we can find out the answer. Okay, what is the value of this whole determinant? This is equal to 0, so that we can find out the values of a0 and a1. Okay, so let us write down this p of x into x naught minus x1 is equal to, what is the value of this? I will write down, is it equal to, this minus will be plus x into f of x naught minus f of x1. This plus will be minus now into x1 f of x naught minus x naught f of x1. Correct? This determinant we have equated to 0 so that we can find out the values of a0 and a1. And if you are able to find out values of a0 and a1 which satisfy our given condition, that is we have written these three equations which is in terms of x0 and x1. So that your a0 and a1 will satisfy your condition of x0 and x1. So that we can find out the next values also. So a2, a3 and so on. So let me write down here p of x is equal to, now we will take f of x naught common and we'll write down the terms p of x into what we have here, x naught minus x1. So what we have, if you take f of x naught is common, that will be x minus x1. Correct? Plus, if I take f of x1 common, what I get, f of x1 is common, it means here x naught minus x. Correct? So now let me write down for p of x is equal to, this is f of x naught and here is x minus x1 divided by x naught minus x1 plus f of x1 x naught minus x divided by x naught minus x1. Correct? So now we have got the polynomial p of x which is in terms of x, that is a polynomial in terms of x. F of x naught is here, so let me rename this as L naught of x plus f of x1 and this is what, L1 of x. Now one may have a question why we have written L naught and so corresponding to x naught. So if you see here, this is x minus x naught and in the denominator instead of x we are writing naught, so let me write down this as L naught of x, and here instead of having x naught minus x, no? Wait, x minus x naught. Okay, if you want to write down, you can write down with a negative sign also. With negative sign, so this will be minus, this is plus, x minus x naught divided by x naught minus x1. Correct? So here as it is 1, suffix is 1, so we are writing for L1 of x. So this is also with a negative sign. So hence we get p of x is equal to this whole polynomial. So as it is in terms of x, we are getting this polynomial p of x which first satisfy the condition. That is our f of x naught is given, f of x1 is also given, x naught, x1, x naught, x1 all are given. So with the help of all the given things, we can find out a new polynomial p of x. Now this is a polynomial which is a linear polynomial. Okay. L0 or L1 of x are called Lagrangian fundamental polynomial of a degree 1. This Lagrange's interpolation of a degree 1 passing through the 2 points. What are the 2 points? x0 f of x0, x1 f of x1. Because we have written the 3 equations. What was our equation 1? P of x is equal to a0 x plus a1. What is our second equation we have found in terms of f of x0? Okay, third equation was f of x1 and so on. So this we have solved. For with the help of 2 points. What are those 2 points? X naught f of x0 and x1 f of x1. If you see clearly, this contains only 2 sums: x naught, x1, f of x0, f of x1. Okay. So now, if I want to generalize the concept, that means if suppose you are the Lagrange's interpolation polynomial, if I want to write down if it is passing from n plus 1 point, that is if you want to write down for n plus 1 point, that is x naught f of x naught, next is x1 f of x1 and so on up to xn f of xn. Just now we have written only for these 2 points. Now we have to generalize the concept and we want to write down the polynomial. E of x is equal to, we can write it as summation over I runs from 1 to n, or we can write it 0 to n Li of x into f of x. Okay, in this case, what is Li of x? That is, we have to write down Li of x is x minus x naught, x minus x1, and so on. What is the last term? X minus some xi plus 1. Then what we have here, x minus xi minus 1. As it is for I, then that term will be eliminated. So what we have next term is x minus xi plus 1, and finally we have x minus xi. Correct? So divided by, what is a divided by here? But wherever x we have, it is xi minus x0. Here is xi minus x1. And the xi minus xi minus 1. Here it is xi minus xi plus 1. And so on. Xi minus xn. Suppose if you have taken the term of x minus xi, what will be denominator? Xi minus xi, that is 0. 1 upon 0, that is the term. It will tends to infinity, that is not defined. So just now we have solved the example also. In that also we are getting x minus xi. अगर यहाँ पे L naught है तो obviously the term of x minus x naught will not be there. So correspondingly here I will be absent if you are writing for Li. Suppose you are writing for L1, so x minus x1 will not be there. This term will not be there. Suppose you are writing for x minus xn, so this last term will not be there. Okay. So corresponding changes in the denominator. Suppose you are writing this equation for 1. So wherever you have I, you have to write down 1. That is x1 and x1 and so on. Okay, let me solve the one example so that the idea will be clear. Find the unique polynomial of a degree 2 such that f of 0 is equal to 1. What we have to find out? A polynomial which satisfy the condition f of 0 equal to 1, f of 1 is equal to 3. Next is f of 3 is equal to 35. Okay. So using Lagrange's interpolation, we have to find out it. How many values are given? We are provided with x0, x1 and x2. We have to find out a polynomial of degree n. Suppose n plus 1 points are given, then we can get a polynomial of a degree n. Okay, suppose n points are given, then we get the polynomial of degree n minus 1. How many points are given? आपको उस polynomial से एक कम degree का मिलेगा. So how many points are given to us now? 3 points. So what will be the polynomial? It will be a polynomial of a degree 2. Okay. So let us solve this. What will be the p of x now? P of x is equal to summation over I comes from 0 to 0, 1, 2. And here it is Li of x into f of xi is equal to, what will be the polynomial now? P of x is equal to this polynomial. So for that, first we have to find out values of L0 of x, L1 of x and so on. Correct? Let me write down for L0 of x. What will be L0 of x? Into f of x naught plus L1 of x into f of x1 plus L2 of x into f of x2. For that, first we must know what is L0, L1 and L2. We have to find out the answer of L0, L1 and L2. As already we are provided what is f of 0. Here we have to write down 1. What is f of x1? That is f of 1 is 3. What is f of x2? That is f of 3 is 35. Okay. So let us find out first values of L0, L1 and L2. And just put up in this equation so that we can get the new polynomial p of x which is satisfying the given conditions. Okay. So L0 of x is equal to, what will be L0 of x from the last equation we have written? It is x minus x1 and x minus x2 divided by, it will be x naught minus x1 and here it is x naught minus x2. Okay, so let us write down values of x. We are getting here x minus 1, x minus 3. What is x naught we have? It is 0. So it is 0 minus 1. Here it is 0 minus 3. So what I get the answer is x minus 1, x minus 3 divided by minus 1 into minus 3, that is 3. So we have got the answer of L naught of x. Similarly, we have to find out for L1 of x. What is L1 of x will be x minus x naught and here it is x minus x2. So as it is 1, so we don't want to get x minus x1. You have to remember in this way. But if you go to the proof, you can get the what is the answer by we are getting like this. Okay, so here we can get this is x1 minus x naught. This is x1 minus x2. Now we know what are the values of x naught. X naught is 0. What is the value of x2? X2 is 3 now. And what is the value of x1 we have? X1 is 1, 1 minus 0. And here is 1 minus x2 is 3. Correct? 1 minus 0, 1 minus 3, x minus 0, x minus 3. So what I get the polynomial is x into x minus 3 divided by minus 2 into 1, that is minus 2. Okay. So now let me write down for the next one, that is L2 of x, and then we will finally write down in our P of x. That is L2 of x is equal to x minus x naught, x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x naught, x2 minus x1 is equal to x minus x naught is 0, x minus x1 is 1 x2 is 3 minus 0, 3 minus 1. So what I get the value of this is x into x minus 1 divided by 3 into 3 minus 1 is 2. That I can write directly is 6. Now let us put all those values in our equation, and that is what our polynomial p of x. P of x is equal to, let me write down the value of L naught of x here. What is f of x naught we have provided is f of 0 is 1. So f of 0 is 1 plus L1 of x into value of our f of 1 is 335. And the last one is 35. Correct? So you just put up the values of L0, L1, L2, whatever we have found. That is a polynomial p of x. So in this way you can solve the example. Okay. Let us stop the lecture. Thank you.